Welcome back. One topic that came up in conversation this week was that of campaign advertising. With just over 3 months left of the midterm elections, ads have gotten nastier already. Didn't take long after the primaries to have things get ugly. Here in California, some of the nastiest have been the Meg Whitman ads against Jerry Brown for California governor. Now, the amazing thing is not how quick they got negative, but how quickly they went straight to falsehoods. Now, while I'm not convinced Brown is the best California can do, it is amazing the Whitman ads have already been caught in not one, but 7 misrepresentations in a single ad. Now, 2 have been deemed outright lies, and the rest were either misleading or require more information to clarify. In fact, factcheck.org found that the ad fails to tell the truth. Now, the ads taken out for Brown by a coalition of labor unions are not much better. They use partial facts to support their candidate while making accusations that aren't supported, or supported by only using half the facts, which of course caused Whitman to release her own ad, swinging back at the original, containing even more embellishments. I'm sure this isn't the only region where the campaign ads are flying fast and furious, and the ad creators are taking significant creative license with their claims. This is happening across the country, and some of the claims and ads that are being made are just beyond the pale. And it seems the more contentious the battle, the uglier and farther from the truth the claims get. So how do we fix this? How do we get back to the point where campaigns are talking about real issues instead of just making stuff up about each other? Well, it's no wonder that voters tend toward apathy. Most primaries were over in June, meaning nearly 5 months of bash, bash, bash from the candidates and campaigns. Is it really a surprise that voters are sick and tired of hearing it by November? The ones who have made up their minds won't change, and those who haven't are likely to stay away from the polls because they can't tell the lies from the truth on either side. Groups like the folks at factcheck.org do an admirable job, but you can bet that most voters don't know who they are, and campaigns aren't going to tout it when their ad is less than truthful. Yet that should be exactly what should happen. You want a winning campaign ad? Create one that factcheck.org can't debunk in just a couple of minutes. Air that ad. Let the opponent try to take it apart. Heck, challenge FactCheck or someone like them to find fault with the ad. If they can't, you got a winner. The other side will attack the ad, but it's already vetted. Now they have to call the fact checkers liars as well. But again, it's not likely to happen. So what can we do? Well, there are plenty of ideas, but they all will take some significant courage on someone's part. Not one of them will be popular with politicians and special interest groups. Why? Because you'll be taking away their prime tools to sway your vote. One big problem that would need to be addressed is the tilted playing field that is campaign advertising. It takes millions to run ads on radio and TV. Smaller candidates stand no chance of competing with the big players, which means one of two things. They fall behind in being able to get their message out, or they fall prey to the special interests that have the deep pockets it takes to run a campaign messaging program. Leveling this playing field is crucial to fixing the problem. But how do you get there? Well, one way is to limit campaign advertising. Doing so, however, is going to raise the hackles all around. Everyone's going to scream about impediments to free speech. And yet it's necessary. So how do you do this without infringing on the rights of candidates and backers? The answer is very simple. Free market control. What do I mean by that? How's that going to work? Well, first, create legislation that limits the price of campaign ads, not the amount being spent. The amount needs to be ridiculously low to remove the barrier for entry to even the smallest players. When everyone can afford to take an ad, they all will. But this will affect the profits of broadcasters, right? Well, not necessarily. All you are setting is a price for the ads. You're not telling the broadcaster to run them. So the broadcaster can choose how much they lose on those ads. The next piece of the puzzle is to require equal rotation for each campaign. Not advertisers, but specific campaigns. For example, the Brown campaign has an ad regardless of who pays for it. The Whitman campaign gets one. And if there's a third-party challenger, they get one too before another ad from the other two can run. And two things are going to happen. First, Smaller campaigns are going to get a chance to come into the market as the barrier has been removed, and they are guaranteed equal time. Second, the ads will actually be reduced. Why? The lower price becomes a burden to the broadcaster. If they know there are 3 candidates, it means for every ad they take from one, they're going to have to run 2 more. They won't be forced to run any ads. And the folks with the most money won't be able to wallpaper the airwaves. What are the chances of this happening? Well, frankly, slim and none, and Slim just left town. But it is a solution. It's not perfect. It's got to be better than what we've got. Here's another option. Create a rating system and require it to be used prior to running any ad. Think along the lines of the ratings before previews to movies. A group like factcheck.org or something similar does the fact-checking and produces a rating on the factual nature of the ads. It must be nonpartisan, simply fact-checking the claims in the ads. Then the rating's tacked on at the beginning of the ad. For example, this ad has been rated T for truth by the Ad Verification Council. Or, this ad has been rated P for Pinocchio by the Ad Verification Council. You get the basic idea. Again, is this going to happen? Not likely. But the solutions are there. It's just a matter of implementing them or something else instead of throwing our hands up in the air and resigning ourselves to another season of attack ads filled with lies. What has to happen is that we have to cut the crap and give voters real choices with real facts about the things they care about. That's why they stay away from the polls. Voter registrations and participation are ridiculously low for a country that has representative government. You can't complain that your government doesn't represent you if you didn't vote for the representation. Look, if you voted, and didn't get the candidate you wanted, you've got some grounds for griping. But if you didn't vote at all, you got no right to complain. You had your chance to make a difference. You didn't take it. It's that simple. With all the noise around election time, it's hard to expect everyone to sort the issues out, sort the wheat from the chaff, and figure out where everyone stands, especially the assorted politicians. You got to figure out where the various issues are. Look, maybe these ideas aren't the perfect solutions, but they are solutions. What's your idea? We'll be right back.